Hello, my name is Darkling, and welcome to my first Let's Play. We're going to be playing World of Tanks, a game that's been advertised as an MMO tank-based game that was just recently pushed out of beta and into free public release. First off, I'm going to be using the MS-1 Soviet tank, then I'm going to switch to the Leichten tractor, and then followed by the Cunningham. As you can see here, I am part of a clan, the WWPD, which stands for the What Would Patton Do clan. What Would Patton Do is a podcast that is broadcast bi-weekly, which covers Flames of War, a tabletop miniature game based in World War II. The What Would Patton Do crew is a very good podcasting group, and I would highly recommend visiting them at whatwouldpattondO.net. Anyway, let's join us into a battle and see what we get. As you can see, we are being loaded into a game here. I am sitting pretty low in the charts here as I'm a starter tank with no upgrades, and there seems to be quite a few tier 2 people above me. So my support role is going to be primarily just backing up others and adding as a bullet magnet. Alright, so we're loading into this game. World of Tanks is played pretty much like a domination style game from Call of Duty, but also with team deathmatch elements. As you can see, I'm lined up with about 15 to 20 teammates, facing off against another 15 to 20 enemies. World of Tanks is a very historic-based game in the sense that all the tanks follow general rules that applied to them during World War II, such as velocity of shells, the types of guns that each tank could be equipped with, the upgrades each tank could have, the hard points in the armor, and the soft, weak spots as well. The objective is to really get up close to another tank so you can start hitting on the parts that you know you're going to penetrate through. At long ranges, you're probably going to have a tough time distinguishing a hatch from a sloped piece of armor and actually doing some decent damage to them. As you can see here while I'm moving, my turret rotation is fairly slow, and the reticule size is greatly increased. This is because my crew is not nearly as experienced as they could be. This is just a starting tank, they wouldn't have had much time to level up yet. And so my accuracy is going to be fairly wild. In addition, my tank is not going to operate at full capacity. It doesn't get rammed from behind by this little PZ-2. So as you can see, there's an enemy in the distance with the red diamond representing a tank that's been spotted. They'll stay on the map in the bottom right hand corner and on your screen until they're either destroyed or line of sight has been broken for a set amount of time. Now this MS-1 I'm driving is fairly slow, so it is not going to make it up this hill in time to be any support to this battle. And this little medium tank here, which was represented by the 2 stripes, it's certainly going to come around and flank, and if I'm caught in behind, I'm probably going to be toast. So we're going to try and cruise up here as quick as we can, get away from that thing and see what we can do. Hopefully someone else can take care of that, because I know I'm not. So once we crest this hill, we're going to try and perform a flanking action with the rest of this group. Hopefully we have some people left back at the base to defend our flag, so that we don't get captured from behind and lose the game. There's a light tank ahead, still pretty far for me to do any damage, so I'm not going to worry about him. And there's another one over there. 2 of them now. I'm going to cruise through this village and hopefully catch up with the rest of this pack before I get left behind entirely. I've already played a game with this tank, so I could pretty much upgrade it at the end of this to move on to a better tank. I'm thinking I'll probably move down the T-34 section of the Soviet tanks, maybe branching into the tank destroyers, and finally the heavy tanks. I of course will be more than happy to work my way through any suggestions anyone would like to see, but we'll have to see how much I can tolerate the grind that these tanks are. This game pretty much is a grind, depending on how you look at it. Experience is awarded to those who do damage and participate in the actual battle, as opposed to those who just kill steal. Yes, I could sit here if I had a decent tank and just snipe people left and right, killing them in one hit from afar when they're down to, 10 hit points. But it won't net me nearly as much experience as if I get involved in the battle, duke it out with someone, put some shells onto the targets, generally just participate. Which is a very nice thing, because usually in some MMOs, you're used to kill stealing being your main way to gain experience really quickly. But it's much nicer to be rewarded for what you do in participation as opposed to how you go about getting that final kill. So I finally pushed ahead here. As this little progress bar is being displayed on my screen, it is showing that we are capping the enemy base, and we look to have maybe 2 tanks there. I'm currently out of radio range of who would be up there, so I can't really see. But maybe I can get down there and support them. Obviously, someone either drove out of the capture zone or got hit. If you get hit while in the capture zone, the capping ceases to take place and it gets reset. So it looks like someone was in there and then got shot at. Here we go. PZ2. I'm going to lock on at a long range and just take pot shots at him. Obviously I'm not going to hit him, but you never know. Sometimes you might get lucky. When I get closer up, I'll actually take off auto aim and aim manually because I'll have a much greater chance of hitting where I want as opposed to relying on auto aim. Now he was destroyed. I'm tempted to stay in these bushes because I at least have some cover here.
I don't see the target.
Try and zoom in and see some people. I don't see anything. So we're gonna sneak around the village that is holding the flag here. See if I can't popping on from behind. Doesn't look to be any self-propelled guns, so I don't have to worry about taking out artillery. Here we go. Panzer 35T definitely outclasses me. Will hurt a lot if I get hit by him. Luckily he's missing. Hopefully my teammates take him out. Oh, here we go. Panzer 2. Ooh, he's gonna ram me. Ah, not good.
Bail out. This vehicle is had it.
Yep. So I got swarmed there. I thought I had a little more support than what I really did. Probably should have paid more attention. So I'm going to back down to the lobby and go on to my next tank. Alright, so we're back in the garage. As you can see, my MS-1 is still showing as in battle. Once that battle is ended, it will pop back up either as heavily damaged or will sometimes pop back up as normal. Then it'll display what happened, how much experience I was awarded, if I won or lost. So now we're going to go into the Lightning Tractor and we're going to see what I can do here. As with him, I can probably upgrade him to the next tier tank, but I'm going to show you guys how it performs anyway. It actually is a very slow tank. If I was mentioning how bad the MS-1 was in terms of speed, this is even worse. So we're going to load into here. I'm actually sitting up pretty high. Now, I should rephrase that. I'm middle of the road here, but at least I'm better than the Cunningham or the MS-1. So we're going to see what happens here. Hopefully I can perform a little better than my MS-1 run. Either which way though, this is going to be my last battle of the tier 1s once I progress through this guy and the Cunningham. Hopefully we'll get to see some tier 2 action in my next episode. So we're loading in here. There's 2 general routes that most people take, either through the village over to the left or up the hill to the right. Or no, actually that'd be the village to the right and the hill to the left. Rarely do people go through the creek bed down below. Usually water will slow the tank down significantly and you just become a standing target. So I'm going to progress all the way to the right flank. I generally like to flank as opposed to go head on. It never ends well if you go head on. Sometimes, back in the beta, I had larger tanks that could survive going head on, like the KVs and the ISs. But, man, in these light games, going head on is not going to work well at all. So, as we move out here, again, horribly slow little tractor here. I'm almost as tempted to just upgrade the engine just to get it over with. But we're going to progress down here, try and outflank, see what we can do, support at least what is left of our team when they meet head-on with the group that they're probably going to face. Oh, downhill, the only way to pick up speed in this game. So anyway, as I was mentioning before with the What Would Patton Do crew, they are a very good podcasting group for the tabletop game Flames of War, produced by Battlefront Miniatures. Flames of War is a World War II simulate, which is actually very enjoyable, and it's played by several hundred, maybe several thousand people across the continental United States, and probably across the world as well. I, of course, haven't really run into anyone, but I definitely know there's a huge following out in England and a very big following out in New Zealand. If you're interested at all in World War II, or especially tabletop miniatures, I'd recommend checking them out. Their address again is whatwouldpattendo.net. they of course are running this clan and are happy to have listeners join into the clan and participate and play with them. So it's really nice that they're hanging out with the community as opposed to just sitting there and being by themselves. So I'm more than happy to plug them and get involved where I can. Actually, I'm going to be participating in a tournament with those guys in the next coming 2 weeks, so it should be fun to see them and get to hopefully play a game against one of the guys that are going to be there. Anyway, I'm slowly moving up with the mass here. There's an MS-1. I'm going to auto-fire at him. Oh, I hit him. Come on, baby. Got him. Destroyed him. I really shouldn't have auto-aimed on him. I should have tried to manually aim him, but at that range it's kind of just tempting. Here's another one. Come on.